This conference will now be recorded.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, I hereby announce that adequate notice of this meeting, as required by said act, has been provided by adopting a schedule of regular meetings for the year 2020, which schedule was posted on the Borough Hall Bulletin Board as well as the Borough website and forwarded to both the South Jersey Times and the Sentinel of Gloucester County and filed with the Borough Clerk on January 4th, 2020.
Roll call.
Mayor Wallace,
Here.
Mr. Casabone,
Present.
Mr. D'Alessandro,
Here.
Mr. Fiola,
Here.
Mr. Halter,
Yes.
Ms. Miller, here, Mrs. Spence,
Here.
Mr. Melandro,
Here.
Mr. Scafidi,
Present.
Mr. Brunemer.
Here. What we got next? The bill list. Do we need a motion or anything on that? No, we're good with that, Karen?
Yep.
Agenda items.
This is just the review. So if anybody had any questions for the bill list.
I have no questions.
Okay.
I didn't have a chance to look at it.
Oh, you got another half hour. You're okay, Danielle.
Yeah, I've got to find it now.
Want to do the administrator updates first, and then we'll go through the rest of the agenda. So Karen Passione, best practice survey.
Yep, so we have our 2020 best practice survey that I went in. There were total of 60 questions. 29 of the questions were scored questions to make sure we are following best practice, things through budgeting, personnel, all different questions they've asked. A lot of them, quite a few of them were repeats. And then 31 survey questions were non-scored. And these were questions basically on, because of COVID, how we're handling certain situations. So our scored questions total 21.5 points. So with that, we have no state aid withheld this year. So we'll get our full state aid this year. And that's
Great
it.
job.
Very good. Very good.
And next item is street lighting. We actually have two streets here. One is, if you remember back when we were asked about street lighting on Kentucky Avenue, we finally have gotten a price on that. It's $2,300, roughly $2,300. That would give us two lights out there on Kentucky, and the other is out in Camelot. And Mark can give a little more color on this. That's one light, and that's $3,354. Mark, we have to do a little additional work out there, and that's why the price is higher. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, they had some underground kind of work to get from their existing electrical connections up to the corner where the light post would be. And you have to add the light post in also where on the work you have on Kentucky, the poles are already to put the lights up on those.
Can I ask a question?
George,
Sure.
you got staying on Camelot, but go ahead, ask your question.
Yeah, the one on Kentucky Avenue, didn't the lady, is that in the court? Didn't the lady want a light at the court? Is that one that we're
That's what
talking
it
about?
is, George. Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
So-
one light's right before the court and one light is in the court.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So the two primary things that the folks asked us for out there, the street lighting, which hopefully we will address tonight. And Karen Cosgrove told me, I think November 17th is the public meeting for the speed humps on Martin Luther King Drive. So we're moving forward on both of those issues. So Tim, if we want to move forward on these, do we need a motion?
Yep, you could make that motion now to approve or not approve part, approve some of it. Yes, absolutely.
Should we do that right now or during the formal session, or does it make a difference, Tim?
It could be done. This is a public portion as well, Tony, so it could be done now. Yeah.
Yeah, understood. I just meant, I guess, for listeners. So,
Yep.
okay.
Happy. No, hey, certainly could do it in the regular meeting if one of the committee people wanted to bring it up. Understood.
Okay,
Yep.
well, bring it now. I'll be glad to make the motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Is this a roll call, Tim, or no?
All in favor?
All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Against?
And let the records reflect that I abstain on the one on Camelot.
Thank you, George.
You're welcome. Thanks, Tim.
I know Chief Smith is on. Chief, you want to go over the firefighting hiring process? I see you're on mute. There you go.
Yes, sir. So the job got posted about a week ago. We're leaving it up for 2 weeks. And part of the process is once the applications do come in, a committee gets together, reviews the entire application and make sure it meets all the criteria. And then Human Resources would then send them a letter letting them know they made it to the next round. The next round would be a physical agility test. And then once they pass the physical agility test, it will go on to interviews. And interviews would consist of myself, a designee out of the firehouse, the administrator or a designee, at least one member of public safety, and the HR coordinator. After everything's said and done, the physical and the interviews, HR coordinator would then tally up the lists and, present it to myself and the administrator to go to council with.
Thanks, Steve. As you can see, I mean, we've worked on this now for a few months. We've tightened the process up. It all just about mirrors what we were doing with the police. So we feel as though working with our labor council, we're in a good place to move forward right now. Any questions on that? Okay. Why don't we open the meeting to the public and then we'll go over all the other agenda items, if that's okay.
Move to open to the public.
I have a motion,
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, state aye.
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 Against? Ayes have it. If anyone in the public would like to address mayor or council right now, you are more than welcome to.
Well, I guess this isn't too fast. Hearing none, and move the public portion be closed.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, state aye.
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 Against? Ayes have it. Karen, can you run us through the rest of the agenda, please?
Yes. So we have no closed session items for this evening. However, going into the regular meeting, we have a presentation by the mayor regarding retirement awards, which were actually supposed to be handed out quite some time ago. And unfortunately, we hit COVID-19. So the mayor did want to acknowledge all of these individuals for their many years of service, and he'll do that later on in the meeting. They're noted on the agenda. We have the reading of the the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of September 22nd, 2020. It looks as though everyone was at the meeting, so there shouldn't be any abstentions. We do have a retirement letter to mention for Angela Gezzi. She worked in the court administrator's office, and a resignation letter for John J. Armino Jr. Esquire. He was our Glassboro prosecutor for a number of years, and that will be effective. Those letters will be effective the dates that are noted on the agenda. For new business, we have a request for the clerk to go out to bid for water meters. This actually we should have requested permission for this a couple of meetings ago. Somehow it was inadvertently left off in email. I apologize for that. So we will need a motion and a second for that one. We will also have approval of New Jersey State Firemen's Association membership application for Christopher M. Fern. Again, I will need a motion for that during the meeting. Mark, did you want to do the engineer's report?
Okay, not too much this evening. Obviously, Holly Bush Drive, both phase 1 and 2 have been milling the last 2 days. They're getting that complete. They'll be finishing up tomorrow, but unfortunately, we're going to have rain Thursday and Friday. So that's going to impede the paving work. So it'll likely be next week on Monday, so they can get out there and pave. They're going to try to see if they can do something tomorrow, but I'm not going to hold my breath for that idea. And they're also doing some final paving over College Town around the pad sites, trying to get that area back opened up and removing some of the construction fence to allow the existing parking to be used by the existing tenants in the main buildings for those. And as Ed has touched base earlier, we're looking to have get some information out to the residents on Martin Luther King Drive for the discussions we've had in the past, and their expressed interest in having some speed humps put out there. With that, we're right now chosen a date of November 17th. I believe the time is about 5:30, if I'm not mistaken. A letter will go out explaining what we're doing, along with the sketch that I did in that letter, so that people can see some approximate locations for those speed humps. And as in past practice, council just would like to get input, yay and nay, from any residents out there pertaining to the placement of speed humps. So the council have a better idea. Is everyone in favor, or is it mostly opposed? So you know how to proceed out there with that, and we can incorporate that. If it is favorable, incorporate that with the Public Works Department to begin implementing that with those. I would like to talk to the chief. I know he had a question on one or two of the locations, so I'll chase him down to get that worked out just to make sure. And I know I've also talked to Clark about one location also. So other than that, I think we're okay. The intent is to hopefully have one of the council members join us. Mayor, you're invited. Ed, Chip Clark, or Chip, yeah, Chip Clark will be there to answer your questions. So we've done it in the past, obviously in person, where they can come up and take a look at it, but we're trying to coordinate with Anthony and Karen to see if we can do it virtually, so we can have it on the screen. So if people ask, speed hump number 1, number 2, number 3, people can understand what they're looking at. However, they will have the sketches from the letters they received. And we're working those details out.
Hey, Mark, I have one question. On the streetlights, from the time the resolution gets passed, how long before that they typically go up? Do you know?
For streetlights? Okay,
Yeah.
as far as that goes, usually it depends on if there's any hurricanes or storm damage or thing that usually a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, so if it's subject to the council's approval, we get the signature. Obviously, Karen's done it many times. We can get that processed into it, and they'll get it scheduled. So I would guess probably more in the latter 3 weeks or 4 weeks, but I have had them turned around in a shorter period of time.
Thank you.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions for Mark? Okay. We'll just quickly go through the resolutions. There are only a handful of them anyway. Resolution 24220, resolution authorizing refund of water and sewer overpayment, account number 4085-0 in the amount of $328.53. Resolution 24320, resolution authorizing cancellation and refund of taxes due to totally disabled veteran. That's what TDV stands for. That was granted for block 360, lot 7. The total amount to cancel is $3,240.78. And the total amount to refund is $1,286.59. Resolution 24020, resolution appointing Class 3 Special Law Enforcement Officer for the Glassboro Police Department, David A. Richmond, effective October 16th, 2020. David is actually an officer currently. He was originally appointed as a Class 2 officer, and now he will be moving to the position of Class 3 Special Law Enforcement Officer. Resolution 24520, resolution awarding contract for pole barn electrical services for the Borough of Glassboro to M&M Electrical LLC in the amount of $24,850. for the water and sewer pole barn. We also have resolution 24620, resolution authorizing submission of local government emergency fund CRF grant between the Borough of Glassboro and the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs. This is, Karen P. can probably explain it more. It is an amount that was afforded to Glassboro by the CARES Act for coronavirus relief. Karen?
Correct. So the state of New Jersey has allocated certain towns that weren't in the first group of funding through the CARES Act. It was by county, and Gloucester County was not included. So they're allowing towns within the counties that were not included. They calculated the amount of reimbursement they think that we should have. So they're giving us 210,000. This resolution is part of the application process. They have to have the money to us by December 31st. We will submit all of our COVID-related expenditures that we have accrued through these last few months through this funding rather than the FEMA funding, because the FEMA is only 75% and certain things aren't eligible. For instance, Chromebooks are not eligible, but they are eligible under the CARES Act funding. So that's what this resolution is for the application process.
Any questions on that one?
No questions.
Okay, and the last resolution we have for this evening will be resolution 24720, resolution amending resolution R45-20, resolution appointing substitute prosecutors for the year 2020 for the Borough of Glassboro. And that's to amend the current list that we have due to John Armino's resignation. Are there any questions for anything on the agenda?
I have none.
Well, that's
Then,
it then, right? Till 7 o'clock at 6:47.
That would be correct.
Thanks.
So I guess motion to motion to adjourn the executive session and wait till we come back to start the regular meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion, a second. All in favor, state aye.
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 Against? Motion carries. See you all in 12 minutes.
You want us to sign out completely, or?
I don't think you need, if you just shut your mic off and your camera, you should be good.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Tony.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, have you been receiving the financial reports?
Yeah, I'm about to, the bank balance report, current budget report, revenue reports.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay, because you got, there's August and September.
Oh, okay. I was going to mention September. I'll mention August too.
Hey, welcome back, Cotter.
I mean, that show is from the 70s.
Yeah, and he went to Glassboro State College. Remember the one guy? Got his name.
Yeah, Hedges.
Yep.
Last name was Hedges.
Arnold Horseshack.
Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't that his name on the show? Arnold Horseshack.
Yep.
And John Travolta was Barberini. Barberini?
Barbarino.
Barbarino.
Ini Barbarino.
Wait, Arnold Horseshack went to Rowan?
Glassboro State. Glassboro
No,
State.
Horseshack is
the other guy. It was
Oh,
Epstein.
Juan
Okay.
Epstein.
Ron Epstein.
I thought it was Arnold Horseshack. I guess I'm wrong.
but you remembered all their names. You must have been a big fan.
I was a big fan.
Show.
I'm showing my age.
He became Gabe Kapler. Is that his name? Gabe Kapler. Gabe Kaplan. Yeah, what's his name?
Yeah, he was managing the Phillies.
Phillies, yeah. But it's Kaplan, I think.
You should have
Cotter.
stayed with the show.
Yeah,
I think Tony's showing his age.
I'm showing my dementia. Karen, what was his name, Cotter? Wasn't it Gabe Kaplan?
Gabe Cotter.
I'm gonna have to call in, Fran. I can't.
All I remember him as is Mr. Carter.
Yes, it was Gabe Kaplan. He's a professional gambler now. That's his job.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, Gabe Kaplan. Yeah.
What does he play? What type of gambling?
Poker player, I think.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Karen Pastel, make sure that's not one of them killer hornet bees or whatever they're called.
Did you see that fly on my camera?
I certainly did. I panicked.
Nope, just a house fly.
Like a murder hornet.
It's either that or one of those stink bugs because they're trying to get inside your house now.
Yeah.
Oh,
As long as we don't get those other things, those
yeah.
lambs.
I saw one on my block today. There's
Yeah,
one
they're
on
around.
Barclay Street.
Take a look at your yard. They're probably there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
they're
It
around.
is.
Yep.
It is 7:00 currently.
Anthony's got it. Anthony got to hit that button once you're ready. Or we're still recording, I guess.
Are we good to go?
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Karen
All right.
Passi. Oh, they're good. That he was on there again.
Oh, thank you.
Guys, this is Danielle. I had to call in. My internet connection was really bad.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right, we're going to get started. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the regular meeting of Mayor and Council of the Borough of Glassboro for October 27th, 2020 to order. Karen, could you please read the opening statement?
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, I hereby announce that adequate notice of this meeting, as required by said act, has been provided by adopting a schedule of regular meetings for the year 2020, which schedule was posted on the Borough Hall Bulletin Board as well as the Borough website and forwarded to both the South Jersey Times and the Sentinel of Gloucester County and filed with the Borough Clerk on January 4th, 2020.
Thank you. Can we all rise to salute the flag, please? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with justice for all.
Liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Karen. Could we have roll call, please?
Mayor Wallace,
Here.
Mr. Casabone,
Present.
Mr. Delisandro,
Here.
Mr. Fiola,
Here.
Mr. Halter,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Here.
Mrs. Spence,
Here.
Mr. Melandro,
Here.
Mr. Scafidi,
Present.
Mr. Brunemer.
Here.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is the proclamations and presentations, and we have 4 retirement awards listed. I decided to start to recognize people that have worked for the borough, employees that have worked for the borough in excess of 20 years. I set the start date at January of 2020. And again, my hope was to get each individual in and recognize them in person in front of council and on record. But due to the COVID pandemic and everything moving virtual, we're going to have to suffice to do it by virtually. And my hope is that once things open up, that we can get them together and do some sort of reception for them. So they are in no particular order that these people are in, or in the day and month that they retired. Detective Corporal Lou Butler, who served 25 years with the police department, finishing up as a detective. James String, who spent 28 years with the highway department. Stephen Jacobs, who spent 25 years with the Park and Rec department as our bus driver. And Margaret Renee Harrell, who was spent an amazing 45 years in the highway department office. I want to thank all of them for their service to the borough, and I wish them a very enjoyable retirement. Thank you very much. I agree. Very nice. Thank you, everyone. We have no public hearings, and at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the reading of the minutes for the regular meeting of September 22nd, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor by Councilman Fiola, seconded by Councilwoman Miller. All those in favor state aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries.
I guess technically that motion is to waive the reading and to approve the minutes as written. My apologies.
Yeah. Thank you, Councilman, for your clarity. That's correct. At this time, Karen, do we have any communications?
Yes, Mayor, I have 2 items. I have a retirement letter from Angela Gezzi. She is currently in the court administrator's office. Her retirement will be effective January 31st, 2021.
Okay, do we entertain motions individually, or are we doing them together?
Council's choice. It could be done individually or all together under this category. Yes.
Okay. Well, after the reading of this retirement letter, I'm sorry, Karen, I'll entertain a motion to accept the retirement letter from Angela Gezzi.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Yeah, I have a motion on the floor by Council President Casabone, seconded by Councilman Fiola. All those in favor state aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries. Karen?
I also have a resignation letter from John J. Armino Jr., Esquire. He was our prosecutor. His resignation will be effective October 31st, 2020.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor by Council President Casabone, seconded by Councilwoman Spence. All those in favor state aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries. We'll move to committee reports. Council President Casabone.
I have nothing at this time.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Delisandro.
I have nothing at this time.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Fiola.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I'm in receipt of the various financial reports, the bank balance report and the current budget and current revenue reports from CFO Karen Passione and the Finance Department for the months of August and September of 2020. And I would like to thank them for that. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councilman. Councilman Halter.
I have nothing this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Miller.
Mayor, I have no report at this time.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman. And Councilwoman Spence.
I have nothing at this time, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. We have no unfinished business. Karen, any new business?
Yes, Mayor. At this time, we request to go out to bid for water meters for the water department.
Make a motion for that to go out the bid for the water meters for the department.
I'll second it.
I have a motion on the floor by Councilman Halter, seconded by Council President Casabone. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries.
I also am looking for approval for New Jersey State Firemen's Association membership application for Christopher M. Fern.
A motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion on the floor by Council President Casabone, seconded by Councilwoman Miller. All those in favor state aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries. Engineers report, please, Mark.
Yes, good evening. Just one minor update for Hollybush Drive, both phases 1 and 2, from Green Tree Road over to Fish Pond Road have been milled. They'll be cleaning those up tomorrow, but unfortunately the pending rain Thursday and Friday are going to delay the actual paving of the streets and striping. I appreciate all the patience by the residents out there during the construction of the concrete work and the milling process in the last 2 days. But like I said, by middle next week, we plan on having that all surfaced and all completed. The speed humps that are out there will be returned in the exact same locations in case anybody asks for those. And the College Town Shopping Center is also completing some of their in the front parking lot around their pad sites so they can open up more of the public parking to the existing businesses on site. And that's all I have at this time.
Thank you, Mark. Does anyone have any questions for Mark? Thank you again. At this time, I'll turn the meeting over to our Borough Solicitor.
Thank you, Mayor. Under our consent agenda for action items tonight, we have the following: Resolution 242, authorizing refund of water and sewer overpayment to account 40850 in the amount of $328.53. Resolution 243, authorizing cancellation and return of taxes due to totally disabled veteran granted on Block 360, Lot 7, total amount to cancel $3,240.78, and total amount to refund $1,286.59. Resolution 244, appointing Class 3 Special Law Enforcement Officer for the Glassboro Police Department. That individuals are David A. Richmond, effective October 16th, 2020. Resolution 245, awarding contract for a pole barn electrical services for the Borough of Glassboro to M&M Electrical LLC in the amount of $24,850. Resolution 246, resolution authorizing submission of local government emergency fund CRF grant in the Borough of Glassboro, New Jersey Department of Community Affairs under the CARES Act Coronavirus Relief Fund. And we have resolution 247, amending resolution R4520, resolution appointing substitute prosecutors for the year 2020 for the Borough of Glassboro to amend the list of committed substitute prosecutors. There are resolutions this evening on our consent agenda. If council so moves for approval, roll call vote.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor by Councilman Delisandro, seconded by Councilman Fiola, I believe. Karen, roll call, please.
Mr. Casavone,
Yes.
Mr. Delisandro,
4.
Mr. Fiola,
4.
Mr. Halter,
4.
Ms. Miller,
4.
Mrs. Spence,
4.
That motion carries. Thank you. Any comments from our Borough Administrator?
I have none, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I'll save my comments to the end. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to open the public portion.
I'll make that motion to open the meeting to the public.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor by Council President Casabone, seconded by Councilwoman Miller. All those in favor state aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries. The floor is now open for anyone from the public who wishes to address Mayor and Council. I ask if you go to speak, if you could please announce your name and place of residence and be sure that we can hear you. Thank you. Floor is now open.
Hearing nobody, I make a motion to close the public portion.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor by Councilman Halter, seconded by Councilwoman Spence. All those in favor state aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries. The public portion is now closed. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve all duly authorized bills.
Move that all duly authorized bills be paid.
Move to second it.
I have a motion on the floor by Councilman Fiola, seconded by Council President Casabone. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
I have abstention, Mayor, on two bills, 02582 and 03755.
Okay, Karen, did we get those abstentions on the record? Very nice. Thank you, Councilwoman Spence. Motion still carries. Okay, and lastly, before I ask for adjournment, I just want to thank everybody for attending. I wish everybody to be well. With the new surge in the second wave, as they call it, coming up, I just want to again remind everybody and to just remember to wash your hands, to distance yourselves as best you can, and to wear your mask when at all possible. And with that, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor by Council President Casabone, seconded by Councilman Halter. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? And motion carries. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all again very much. Have a nice night. And the next regular meeting will be scheduled for November 10th, 2020, tentatively at 8 p.m. Thank you all.
Be safe, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
You as well.
You too, Julie. See you guys.